What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morlang. And here in the virtual studio is the king of video games and resident superstar, Adrian Holmes.
That's the one I was waiting for. What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing good. Hanging in there, Still homeless, jobless, all of the above. But you know what?
So that is street traffic I hear behind you then.
It's exactly, yeah. This behind me that you see here, I am using, the technology. It's crazy. It's not even a green screen. It's just cutting. I don't even have a green screen, but technology is so good that it's cutting around me, making it look like I have a green screen and I'm in my room.
That's really not what it is. Really, somebody got you one of those blankets where you could put a photo on it, and they just took a photo of your office, and you just hung it up on like the chain link fence behind you.
100%. So if the wind picks up here, I might lose my office. So we'll see. But also joining us here tonight is the one, the only JJ Purdom.
Right, the Nebraska Ninja. That's right, because I'm the only ninja right over here in Nebraska.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is I like start doing cartwheels and rolls and stuff.
Where do we pay to see you do this?
You can check me out on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Sometimes. At JJ Purdom.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't even know how to log into that thing. Just to be honest, like it's connected to my Facebook, and that's I think I took 2 photos on there, and I said, like, check it out, people. It's about to get weird because now I'm on Instagram, and then I never posted anything.
Nothing. Crickets.
Is that wrong?
Crickets.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be for the better, honestly. It might be for the better.
Because it could be pretty weird.
It could get pretty weird. It's protecting the world from things they probably don't need to see or hear. So, oh, man. Well, how was your guys' Thanksgiving last week? Fun. Now, did you all have 4-day week? Well, JJ, you don't have a job. You're also jobless just like me. But
I don't have a job.
But Adrian, did you get the 4-day weekend, or do you have to work over the weekend?
I did not get the 4-day, but Friday was deadly slow, so I'm okay with that.
Okay, that's nice. You guys have Thanksgiving with your families there? Was that that enjoyable? Was it tense? I know some people have Thanksgiving's whatever with the family, but wasn't sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Garrett,
people our age have parents the age of, those conversations happen about how everything is not like the good old days, and, why is this the way it is, and it wouldn't have done so-and-so X, Y, and Z back then. But look, man, you just got to let them talk. You just got to let them go. Just, zone out, go get you some pumpkin pie, and just let them talk.
Yeah, there you go. That makes it easier. What were you going to say, JJ?
Well, I was going to say I love the fact that Adrian said people our age. That was really sweet because I'm like the old guy who complains about everything changing and all that kind of stuff. But no, I actually ended up hosting Thanksgiving. I cooked the whole meal and everything, and it was amazing. I pretty much ate a whole apple pie to myself, and then went Black Friday shopping on Friday and had the apple pie runs. So I don't know if you guys have ever had that before.
No,
but
never. What was in that apple pie? What was in that pie?
And I've eaten my fair share of apple pie.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to eat a whole apple pie. So that's the whole. And I didn't actually eat the whole thing, but where I came back.
Don't try to walk it back now.
I ate the majority of said pie. There might have been, and there was a little bit of ice cream just to help soften everything up. And it softened it up, let me tell you.
And let me guess, you put a caramel drizzle on there, didn't you? Some powdered sugar.
Like that. Oh, I didn't. No, look, I didn't make like a homemade apple pie.
Oh, okay.
I just took a caramel drizzled apple pie that had already, been baked like that, and then I ate that almost to the head, and then I shared like a little sliver with my youngest. So theoretically, I didn't eat a whole pie to myself because I'm good. I shared a little sliver.
Mm-hmm.
Likely
I
story.
pretty much eat a whole
Likely
pie
story.
myself.
Is this a tall tales of JJ right now?
No.
You're lying.
Nope, I'm telling the truth, unfortunately.
Oh, man. Oh, great. My camera's acting up again. That's great. You get to look at my
I love it that
beautiful
it's
smile.
frozen on your cheesy grin. That's the best.
I love it.
That's a good profile picture for you right there.
It is. It really is.
We're just going to let that sit. Yeah, my Thanksgiving was great, too. I pretty much cooked the whole thing, and it was I will, if I may say so myself, pretty dang good.
They had you cook and get in line?
At the soup kitchen? Like that.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Oh man, the 1-2 punch right down on Garrett.
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know about you guys anymore. I thought, Adrian, I thought I could trust you. I thought I could at least trust you, Adrian, but now, man, I've been betrayed.
It was either gonna be me or JJ. You know somebody was coming for your neck, okay?
Yeah,
I was thinking about it because you were leaving it wide open. I do got to say, a little while ago, you said like, JJ, you don't have a job. I believe I'm experiencing joblessness. Let's be
okay.
Let's be
I'm
kind.
Sorry. Was I not sensitive with my words? I'm sorry.
I think you need to be sensitive to what I'm experiencing right now. It's jobless.
See, he's experiencing it. You're entering it. He's your jobless sensei. You need to learn about being broke from him.
Oh, so good. But no, I cooked a turkey. I cooked an apple pie that was gluten-free, so all the family could eat it.
Nice.
That's a feat. Pie crust, I've heard, is hard enough to make, and I had to make it with no gluten. So I feel like I should get like a little pat on the back.
Did it taste, similar?
Honestly,
don't say better. There's no way.
No, definitely not better. Not better.
Okay.
This is my best one yet, though, because I've also made the same apple pie last year, and it was pretty dang good last year. But the crust, again, this wasn't quite it. Without the gluten, things don't stick together right, so it's just a crumbly mess. This year, I don't know what I added, but I was like, oh my gosh, like feels like a real crust. Like when I was handling this, like it wasn't falling apart.
Gluten is the MSG of bread. You need it. People say it's bad for you, all this other kind of stuff. No. That's exactly what it is. It's the MSG of bread.
Hey, I enjoy gluten as much as the next guy, but when your wife has celiacs and your mother,
absolutely, you do what you got to do.
You kind of got to do what you got to do.
You secretly sneak her some when she's not looking. Is it? No, what you would do, not what I. Okay, I'm really curious, dude, because I didn't know you could cook at all. So I actually had this crazy impression when you said you were cooking. I think you're gonna make like a turducken or like some crazy.
I can attest to it. He did make burgers when I was over there.
Okay, be honest. Were they super bland? Because I'm picturing
they actually
bland.
Weren't bad.
Weren't too shabby.
Look, his eyes twitching when he. Your voice got higher by 2 octaves, and then your right eye kind of twitched a little bit. Dog, you don't know how to tell a tall tale. Let me tell you.
What you don't see is on the webcam, I'm stabbing Adrian in the side right now with a little stick. Just
they were very good.
Be nice.
I had a lot of them.
Eat my meat.
What?
Oh, wait. That's not.
Oh, and that was why we got NC-17 rated last week, because of little dropped comments like that, Garrett.
Oh, my gosh.
Children listen to our show. Children.
Time we move on. Today we're talking about Horizon Forbidden West taking open world very seriously, what the next big PlayStation remake might be, and CD Projekt Red's thoughts on Cyberpunk. They're probably exactly what you think they are. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Toby Dalton and Kajoma01, also known as Quote Joma. We haven't come up with a new name for him in a while. I'm
working on it.
Feeling really sad about that. I don't know why it's so depressing to me that he's still just Quote Joma, but
I'm working on it.
We'll see. Also, shout out to our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates and Mama Mare. If you want to be awesome just like all of them, as well as the names that you see down below in the show description on YouTube and podcasts, you can go to patreon.com/supergamerboys and support us over there, starting at just $1 a month to get episodes early and ad-free, such as our Patreon exclusive. Well, it used to be exclusive. Again, you get it 2 months early, our Super Gamer Book Club show, where you can get the hottest new episodes, such as the Cadence of Hyrule episode, where Adrian hosted it. I was a guest. Trouser Schnauzer was a guest on there, and we talked all about the fun, brilliant, magical game that is Cadence of Hyrule. So support us over there to get that. And coming up this Friday, because it's the first Friday of every month that episode comes out, Super Mario Odyssey with, again, hosted by Adrian, guest Pocket from twitch.tv/Pocket. Was that his name? I don't think that's his name. I should have looked that up ahead of time.
He's
I'm
just
really sorry.
All right, hold on, man.
Cut it real quick and rewind. You can redo that.
Stop the camera.
It is twitch.tv/Pocket, but you got to put a 0 in there. Come on now, put some respect on my man.
Is there a Pocket 0? Is that what it is? Oh, the O is a 0, right?
Correct. Yeah, and he's Super Pocket 64 on social media. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic because Mario Odyssey is a fantastic game and Pocket's an amazing person. So I'm excited. We're recording that tomorrow night, coming out this Friday. So remember, you support us right now. You not only get the Cadence of Hyrule episode from November, but you will get that December episode with Pocket there.
You better bring your A game, Morlang, because Pocket can host a show. I'm just telling you.
Okay. Well, I mean,
he's got that on camera. He's quick. Lightning fast.
I mean, you're the one who need to bring you're the host of Super Gamer Book Club.
I've done podcasts with him. I know we got a cadence. Okay. We got a rapport.
Okay.
You, on the other hand,
we'll see.
I need you to bring it.
We'll see what happens. maybe I'll bring it. Maybe I'll just take a nap while you guys just go back and forth and gush about Mario Odyssey.
He just texted me. Can I bring you to the podcast? Like, Garrett, no, you can't bring me to the. You have to do it yourself. But that was really quick. See, that's the kind of stuff you want to share on the show because that was quick-witted, man. You just text me immediately. Just share that, buddy.
No, I'm just
bring that wit when you're.
I'm just gonna be kicking it back here. Just yep. While you guys go at it, just talk about Mario Odyssey.
He's gonna be like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "It's just my sound guy, Pocket. Don't worry about it. He uploads my stuff."
Why is he on the show? I don't know. He's just
that was part of the deal. He just wanted to, he wanted to feel included. I said, "Okay, fine."
Oh my gosh. So yeah, but we'll talk more about our Patreon later. Now it's time to check the mailbag.
All right, Garrett.
Yes.
So part of that blanket is actually part of the mailbag. I donated it to the shelter you're staying at, and they turned it into the blanket. So,
oh my gosh, let me look under.
They should be there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
See?
It's sewed on the back. It's kind of hard to read.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna bring up in the doc. That's too hard to read.
Not a problem. That's not a problem.
That's too tricky to, the microphone's up here. The notes are sewed to the back of the quilt. That's not ideal.
I'm just glad it's getting put to good use.
Yeah, thank you. It'll keep me and my family warm tonight. I appreciate it. All right, this first question comes from the ghost of Nerd Dad Zetch, and he asked us. Wow, that's what does it say here? I'm sorry. I was just reading. I totally got lost in my notes.
You got to read it out of the Necronomicon now. Come on now.
Necronomicon. Here we go. Nerd Dad Zetch. I'm scared to read a dead man's words. You know what they say about reading a dead man's words.
Just relax. Keep your guard up, and you'll be all right.
Whew. Okay.
If you say it backwards, you're actually going to end up summoning him.
Right.
So
that's what I'm dyslexic, so I'm scared it might accidentally happen.
Listen, the only thing you have to make sure is you just don't say Half-Life Alex backwards, and we're good.
Oh yeah.
Say that 3 times in the mirror.
That is 3 times. Yeah.
All right. I just submitted my votes for this year's Game Awards, and it looks like It Takes Two was my favorite game. Of the nominees, which is your pick? So he wants our pick for Game of the Year. So I thought I'd read them to you in case you had not heard yet what the nominees were. So according to the Game Awards by Jeff Keighley, the 6 nominees for Game of the Year this year are Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. I think from that reaction, we know what Adrian's thoughts are. Metroid Dread.
Baby, RE Village. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It seems very strange to see that on there.
RE Village was very good, though.
It was really good, but there surprisingly was quite a few very good games this year. And so
there's one game that came out this year that I think stands far and above all other games, but I'm not allowed to say the name. I'm not allowed to say the name.
We know what you're talking about, and yes, it was a fantastic game. It was.
How is it not on the top of the list?
It doesn't have a big enough audience.
And that's because people suck.
Fair enough, man. I think Artful Escape should be on the list for Game of the Year, but here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, so because I can't choose the game that shall not be named, and I haven't played any of the other games, I loved RE Village, and I could see it topping that list of those other games. So, but that's with no experience. I can't say I played all of them. So,
Okay.
For what it's worth.
So for me, it's kind of tough. For me, it would be between Metroid Dread and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. They were both phenomenal games, both gorgeous games in their own way. I loved the story in Ratchet and Clank. Metroid Dread's gameplay like really sucked me in. I think I'd have to give it to Metroid Dread though as well. And yeah, I had to agree with Adrian. For me, I had always had a hard time with Metroid games, at least the 2D Metroid games, because everyone knows here I'm a dumb kid. I couldn't figure them out. The Metroidvanias are hard. Metroid Prime I could figure it out because it's a little easier to understand. A whole 3D world I can move around in, but Metroid Dread just really did something different for me this year. And I mean, I blasted that game in it was like 8 hours or something like that. 9 hours. I just destroyed that game in a weekend. So it would have to be Metroid Dread on this for me.
You're a smart man, Morlang.
And again, not that some of those other, like Deathloop, I really enjoyed.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Ratchet
no.
and Clank, I loved. Resident Evil Village was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, didn't get to play It Takes Two. And Psychonauts 2, it didn't grab me. But I was telling you guys earlier, I also didn't play the first one. So for me, I played like the first, 2-3 hours of Psychonauts 2. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just had no connection to anything. The characters, the world, what's going on. Even the gameplay was a little funky. Like, the humor that's in it didn't connect for me. But I know a lot of people loved it.
Yeah. Overall, for me, I've heard about pretty much all of these games. I've heard nothing but good things. So I think it's another, another great year for games, if anything else. So I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm just glad, Dread got the recognition it deserves, excuse me.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't think that was ever a doubt though, right? Like, were you ever worried that it wouldn't have gotten any recognition there?
Yeah, because it's people's perspective. I feel like can get skewed very easily because it's Metroid. It's not Nintendo's biggest IP. It's a 2D game, so it automatically is seen as inferior. I mean, there was whole debates online about. People were saying Metroid wasn't worth $60 because it's a 2D game and it's a small game and it doesn't take a whole lot to beat,
That's insane.
Yeah. So that was my big worry is that, and then I remembered, game outlets are judging these, people with actual sense. So maybe we will get some solid picks. And sure enough, that's what we got. So.
Yep. All right, cool. Man, I was surprised. I'm right there with you, JJ. Surprised Little Nightmares 2 wasn't on there, but
For anything.
He said it. He said I didn't say
he's
it.
allowed. You signed the NDA. He did not.
I'm allowed to say it.
I just for the record, I didn't say it.
You did it. You did not. You did not.
I agree.
You will not hear. You will not have to face any litigation. You're good.
Okay.
You know what, JJ?
I just want to make sure.
JJ, you get a treat for that. Good job. Good job for not saying it.
Like a Scooby snack?
Self-restraint, my boy.
Oh, man. All right. This next question comes from Sweats. He comes to us with a couple questions here. So let's do the first one. His question is, marry, fadoodle, and kill.
Fadoodle.
What is fadoodle?
I don't know. It says fadoodle with a little winky face. I can't imagine what.
What is this person? 6?
But
is he 6 years old?
Oh, that's a fancy way to say bone.
Pretty much,
right? I thought about just dropping the full, but I thought, then Garrett's got to go back and edit it out. He'll complain about it.
That takes work and time and everything.
And I know you don't want to do any work.
The old beast with 2 backs. You know how that goes.
There you go.
All right. So he gives three options here to marry, fadoodle, or kill. Xbox 360 generation of games, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
interesting.
They are interesting choices. He says, don't think about it too much. Now go. So,
all right. So I'm gonna marry the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm gonna kill the 360, and then I'm gonna fadoodle the other one. What was the other one again?
Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna fadoodle the crap out of that. I figured the Joy-Cons would be kind of fun if you're picking up what I'm talking about.
I don't know. They might cut you if they drift too much. You might want to be wary of that.
That's not the DualSense. They don't drift. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Joy-Con?
Joy-Cons definitely drift.
Dude.
We talking about the same controller?
They are the godfather of drift, you know?
Right.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I would definitely marry the Switch. I think that goes without saying. I'm probably fadoodling Marvel, and as much as I love 360 and a lot of the games that come from that generation, but when we're talking about these three, 360 got to go.
Whew, okay.
Okay, but there's about killing them. Would that be killing the 360 and never getting any of the games?
Yeah,
Right. It's as if it never existed.
Oh man, that hurts.
It's some of my best Xbox memories are from 360. So the other two mean a lot when I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stand by what I said though.
Okay. For me, I would also marry the Nintendo Switch, but I would fadoodle the 360 generation of games and kill the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wow. Blaspheme.
For me,
why would you choose to kill the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
So for me, I love what they've done. It's honestly like a cinematic just feat of what they've done, like to connect how many 18, 20 movies, whatever, together over the course of 15 years or whatever it's been. But to be honest, I've gotten way more joy out of the Xbox 360 generation, both in that time and then the games that have come from those games.
Oh, man. Well, folks, you think you know a guy, and then he goes and says something like that, and you realize you don't know him at all.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. I know I've let everyone down, let my family down. I
No.
let my kids down. I let you down. I apologize. And next time I'll do better. Next time I'll do better. But for now, I got to stand by my choice.
I picked Marvel because of not only because of how, like we were saying, in at least recent history, it's definitely one of the greatest cinematic feats that there has been. But just because of the effect that it's had. Like, think about how it has basically exploded being into this kind of thing, right? There's more people reading comic books than ever now. There's more people looking into this stuff. Back in the day, we were the ones that were getting made fun of because we were reading comic books and we were doing this kind of stuff. We were playing video games. Now, look, everybody is doing it. People you would never suspect. Oh yeah, you know what? I was playing so and so on my my Switch, or I was reading this comic because I wanted to see what this character was about before the movie came out. So that opened the door for basically society to be like, there must be something to this, I guess, for lack of a better term, pop culture, nerd stuff. And I will forever be grateful to the Marvel Cinematic Universe for that. So.
Yeah, but think about not ever playing a BioShock game, not ever playing a Gears of War
BioShock
game.
came out on other stuff.
It originally was a 360 game, though, correct?
It was, but
so imagine if and I'm sure Xbox paid money to make that happen.
There's
no way.
A bit of money, but they were working on BioShock before either system came out, so they knew PS3 was coming. So if there was never a BioShock, or if there was never a 360, they would have just put it on PS3.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel I definitely more tie it closer to 360.
I get it because it came out first on 360, but at the same time, is what I'm saying is I don't think that they would not have put it on PS3.
I don't know.
Really struggling with your answer right now, Garrett. I don't even want to look at you, and I have to look at you right now because we're on screen together, but jeez, man.
Okay, for all you guys who were giving me hate last week, imagine not being able to play Skyrim.
Again, it came out on PC.
Adrian's got an answer for everything you throw out there.
People are going to be able to play Skyrim.
Imagine not being able to play Halo 3.
Oh, that would be that actually.
I mean, we still had 1 and 2,
but 3 okay. Play devil's advocate. 3 is like a lot of people love 3.
It is. It's the best of the 3. Don't get me wrong, but we still have 1 and 2.
Yeah. I think he's still right. Garrett, you still suck.
Okay, fine. I suck. I don't know. There's just a lot of games that at least I was introduced to on the 360.
Oh, for sure.
I'll put it that way then. Like
I'm only saying this because I have to be devil's advocate here. I am in complete agreement with you. I just want you to know.
And I want you to know that like in all honesty, Sweat's little question here on our little podcast has just opened up a crazy can of worms, and you're going to get so much hate over that thing over the next couple of weeks. The Discord
is going to eat you alive, my man.
I know. Hey, something's got to bring Discord back to life, you know? supergamerboys.com/Discord, and you can join us over there and help me revive the chat over there every once in a while. I know everyone, the holidays were this last week, but I'm like, oh, I miss everyone. It's been really quiet over here, so hopefully that'll get everyone all stirred up. We'll get some discourse over there. This next question from Sweats. He writes, what's the dream first game to play along with your child? I remember staying up all night playing Toe Jam and Earl with my dad on the Sega Genesis. My son is 2, so he doesn't get it yet, but I'm not sure what will be the game that I want to break him into the world yet. My gut says Super Smash Brothers, but I also think watching him play Kingdom Hearts or something like that would be so much fun because he loves Disney. I'll wait till he's older before he's older before I force him to play through Gears with me. You know, the whole eat shit and die thing.
Yeah, that you might want to wait a while on that one.
For what is the first game you would love to play along with your child? Or in the case of JJ, what was the first game that you played along with or kind of introduced your children to?
Yeah, so I got the first play, like the Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3 with my oldest daughter, Deanna. And that was a blast for me to be able to sit and couch, like sit next to her and her play levels and her learning how to like do stuff on in those games. It was a blast. And I got to repeat that with my son Lee and then with Emma. So it's just, I mean, that for me, that's the nostalgia. That's what I grew up with. I was that age that they are now. When I fell in love with that game or with the series of games, and I got to do that. So this is a great question, and I'm like, man, I got to do that, and it was awesome. It was every bit as awesome as it sounds.
That's awesome. What about you, Adrian? You got something?
See, I'm trying to decide because I'm thinking, do I keep the tradition alive and do I do Golden Axe, or either that or Alter Beast like my dad did with me? Do I pass, you know what I mean? Do I pass the torch on to the next generation and you know, keep that going? Or do I introduce them gently, give them something, you know, like a Mario World to get them introduced to the idea of what a video game is? That's kind of where I'm at the moment. Okay. And it's a tough choice. I'm going to have to make it at some point, but we'll see when we get there. But those would be the two that I pick between.
Okay. So you actually got to play Altered Beast and Golden Axe with your dad. Those games are difficult, man. Like,
oh, yeah.
So that's a hard decision. But you know what? If you play that with them in the beginning, you're going to make good gamers.
Yeah.
So because they will persevere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
or you'll have to get rid of them and send them to the soup kitchen line with Garrett if they don't.
Oh my god,
you know?
Garrett, my kid sucks at Sega Genesis. Here,
you take them.
He said, "Here."
Angel,
you're gonna live with Uncle Garrett now.
Yeah, Angel in the chat says, "Put them on League of Legends to build character." Oh, no, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So for me, obviously, it's Metal. No, I'm just kidding. It's not Metal Gear. Got you guys.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a sad part. You're going to be so proud with tears when your oldest chef
his first call to Otacon.
Oh man, he's getting to play as Snake right now. Get out of here.
No, for me, because obviously I want him to play games. I want to play a game with him as soon as possible, and he has played games. So not to say he hasn't played games, but the first game I want to play with him, alongside him on the couch, where it's like he's competent in playing games, I'm competent playing and guiding him through the game. I want it to be Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 1. Oh, that was one of my earliest memories as a kid. jumping into that. And I think that would be such a blast because I love that character. That character is so special to me. I think I shared, was that on another podcast episode? I don't know. I feel like somewhere I shared the story, about the Christmas Eve gift, like getting Crash Bandicoot 3 in the snow, like stuff like that. Like I always love Crash. He's near and dear to my heart. Crash Team Racing, all that stuff. So I think my pick would be Crash Bandicoot 1 on the PS1. I'd let him, play that for a few minutes. And then he's like, Dad, this sucks. Then we turn on the remasters on PS5,
It's like, this is the same game, but better.
It's the same game, but it actually feels and looks good. So let's play that. So that would be my choice. Obviously Metal Gear is also going to be extremely special, but that's also a rated M game that I can't.
I was gonna say, can your child handle the complexities of international espionage?
Honestly, Shep is way freaking smart, way too smart for me right now. So he probably could. He could probably watch me play and be like, "Oh yeah, Dad, what you don't get it?"
It's the lolly lule low, Dad. Come on.
Technically,
they
Garrett
can't say Patriots, Dad.
Garrett technically can't handle the crazy world of espionage right now.
Yeah, man. That's a good question.
It's the nano machines, Dad. Come
it's
on.
the nano machines. Come on,
Pay
Dad.
attention.
Come on, idiot. And then I'd give him a weapon for calling me an idiot. Be like, boy, get to your room. You're grounded.
Right?
No. All right. Cool. Thank you guys so much for writing in those questions. We appreciate that. We had a few more questions come in, but it was right at the tail end. And I was like, you know what? Save them for next week. So don't think we forgot about you. We'll get you next week. Now it's time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
Music. All right. This one I thought was kind of interesting, kind of fun, kind of cool. First news story comes from IGN, written by Jared Moore over there. And he writes, Horizon Forbidden West has a whole team of developers just to make the open world feel alive. Horizon Forbidden West has a whole team of developers solely dedicated to make its open world experience feel alive for players in the game, called the Living World Team. Imagine that. It'd be so cool. Oh yeah, I'm part of the Living World Team. I just in a new insight into Horizon Forbidden West on the PlayStation blog, lead Living World designer at Guerrilla, Espen Sogan, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm really sorry. Explains how his team is working on different aspects of world design to bring the PlayStation exclusive to life. When you walk through Forbidden West, everything should feel like it belongs there, says Sogan. The Living World team at Guerrilla works on aspects of the game that make the world feel authentic and alive. The tribes, the settlements, and the people within them. There's an intention behind everything we place within the world. It's seemingly that intention that will help players to understand and fully experience Forbidden West storyline and characters when it launches next year. As part of the post, the studio explains that the Living World team has been working closely alongside the game's narrative designers to ensure players are greeted with a visual experience that makes sense from a storytelling perspective throughout the game. Our main challenge is translating this narrative framework into visuals that are integral to the world itself, says Sogan. For example, the Tenakth, one of the human tribes within the game, are known to be competitive and combat-focused, but so are other tribes. So how do we distinguish them? How do we communicate that visually? It then becomes all about the details, the animations, and the behaviors within their settlements. You'll see the Tenakth working out, readying themselves for battle. They're often younger because they need to be capable warriors. Their base is an ancient ruin from which they've picked up certain old-world gestures that they may not fully understand, like using a military salute to say hello. Ultimately, our goal is to make sure NPCs feel connected to where they live, and we work closely with our other internal teams such as narrative, quest, and environment to make sure that every location feels authentic. All in all, it sounds like another potential avenue that Guerrilla is looking to improve on within the Horizon sequel. Horizon Forbidden West is set to launch on February 18th, 2022. So, I don't know. I just thought that was super interesting. It's bizarre. Like, I know there's probably other games
it's incredible.
Yeah, there's other games that probably do a similar thing. But, I don't know. This is the first where, I don't know, we've just gotten a peek behind the curtain on it. And it just seems so crazy. Like, wow, there's a whole team dedicated just to, like, we want this world to feel like it's a real living world. Like, everyone has character. Every piece that they put in there has a reason. I don't know.
Horizon Zero Dawn was such a vibrant amazing game, and it did feel alive. There was so much to see and to like breathe in and experience in that. And so this is exciting because there's a whole team, an entire group of people that are working specifically to make this world feel real. You know, that's the whole sole focus of that team, is to work on that environment. And I think that's amazing. I think it's going to add to the realism, and it's going to help you as a player to get lost in this world that they're creating. I mean, they're not worried about any story, any campaign, that's not their focus. Their focus is just making sure that everything in this world comes to life. And I think that's really awesome. Like, what do they call it? The living team? Is that what they...
The living world team. Yeah. The
living world team.
So cool.
Yeah. I think it's exciting to hear something like that. And it's neat that they've got, you know, their own group that are working specifically on that. I can't wait for that game. It's supposed to be coming out in 2022, right?
Yeah, February. It's supposed to be coming out.
No, it's supposed to be coming out. What? December, right? No. Right? Wasn't it the launch of this? No, it wasn't the launch of the system. Oh no, I'm sorry, it got delayed. No, wait, it was supposed to. Yeah. Oh no, it got delayed again.
Yeah, it's been delayed a couple times. But so Will, I don't know, based off of what we've seen with some of the other, like, because I feel like at least once a month we're getting an update on the PlayStation blog about this game. It definitely feels a lot closer now than it did before. So I don't know. Are you feeling uncertain about that, Adrian? Do you think they're going to delay it again from February?
I mean, I don't know. It's Sony. They've said one thing and done another a lot this generation so far. So
yeah,
it's tough for them. It's tough. I mean, I would love for them to, you know, keep their word and have it come out, but they've said a lot of things that have not come to pass. So you know, you hope the best for everyone, and I'm sure Horizon is going to. I played the first one. I platinumed the first one, so you know, I'm a huge fan of the series, but at the same time, you never know with this company at this point. And granted, there's a lot of factors outside of their control for sure. You know, I never want to shortchange that, but you know, there's a level of transparency that was apparent in here during PS4 that I don't think we're getting during the PS5 era. So that is what worries me, not whether or not Horizon is going to be good.
Right.
As far as the article goes, I would just take this entire article, put a link to a tweet on it, and just CC in CD Projekt Red, and just let them read it, because I don't think they've ever heard of somebody working on the world and only working on the world. Oh, no. So actually, you know what? I wouldn't CC them. I would CC CD Projekt Red management, the upper brass. I would CC them.
Yeah, there you go. Now, speaking of PS4, you brought that up a second ago. How do you two feel about this game being as big as it is and as detailed as it is, coming out still on the PS4? Like, that seems kind of bizarre that this isn't an official next-gen game. Like, it's still coming out on PS4. Is that going to be a total crap show, or
My theory is that it's going to be the exact same level of fidelity as the PS4 Pro of Horizon 1, which, I mean, even now that game looks incredible. So if you can just make 2 look the exact same as 1, of course you're going to have to take a whole lot of effects out. But I think if you still have a PS4, you know what to expect. And as long as they make it look the same as the first one, I think you'll still get a good experience out of it. But
I could see them doing it similar to the way Miles Morales came out on both PS5 and PS4. Mm-hmm. And there were remarkable differences, but it still looked really great.
Yeah, I mean, PS4, the original Spider-Man PS4 looked fantastic before we knew what PS5 could do. So why not?
Okay. So you don't think there's going to be that much of a dip, or do you think the PS5 version could suffer? Like, hey, we got to make this work on both.
I hope that. Yeah, I don't think it is. What I would do if I'm running the ship, I would make the PS4 version parity with the first Horizon, or maybe eke out as much more of the PS4 Pro that I could to maybe put a few more of those upgrades in there. And then for the PS5 one, I'm blowing the PS4 out of the water. I'm putting everything on because I want to showcase what the new hardware could do.
Right. Now, do you think they're going to do what a lot of other games are doing though, where they release and they're basically the same game, and then like a month or two later,
patch on it.
We get the PS5 patch that comes out. Like that's what I'm worried about. Like at launch, they're going to be like, "Hey, sorry, like this thing's not out." Like
what they should have been doing is they should have been developing for PS5 and then scaling it back for PS4. So that way you already have the groundwork done. And then you just have to go, okay, what do we need to take out? We need to take out these shadows. We need to take out this fog. We can't have as many enemies. We can't have the ray tracing. And then you have a PS4 package. That way you don't really have to make two different versions of the game in parity. So at least you would hope that they would do something like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, I'm excited for this game. I still have not, as a lot of you know, I haven't finished the first one. I really enjoyed what I played. And now that I have my PS5, I'm like, I need to go back and play the first one because I've heard, because they came out with like a 60 FPS like upgrade for PS5, right? So yeah, I'd love to go back and play through that now. And I have time, as long as I can use the TV in the rec room, it's open.
Yeah. Now you got to make sure that you're not currently on the line working. But yeah.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's move on to this next story here. This comes from VGC. Tom Ivan writes, the upcoming big PlayStation remake is reportedly Chrono Cross.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we were going to talk about this.
Yeah, a remake of Square Enix's classic RPG Chrono Cross is reportedly in development for multiple platforms. Chrono Cross, which was released for the original PlayStation in 1999, is one of many unannounced titles listed in an NVIDIA database leak in September, a list the company subsequently admitted was real, even if it said the games didn't necessarily exist. The following month, VGC reported on claims that PlayStation was set to announce a remake of a quote-unquote big game this Christmas, which were made by a musician who said they were involved with its soundtrack. Folk singer Ibha McMahon, maybe, who performs as Ava, told Irish radio station WLR-FM that she had recorded an Irish language theme for the game, which had yet to be revealed. And according to Xbox-era co-founder Nick Baker, the remake in question is Chrono Cross Remastered. Chrono Cross Remastered, I think, was already on the NVIDIA leak list, so the game shouldn't be a surprise. It was on NVIDIA's list, but I was told that VGC article is about Chrono Cross Remastered, he said on the latest Xbox Era podcast. What else I was told, because everyone's working under the assumption that it's a PlayStation exclusive, I've been told that it's not. The only word that was used was multiplat. Now, when I hear JRPG and multiplat, I automatically assume PC, PlayStation, Switch. That's my assumption. That's not what I was told. That's just my assumption. All my source said to me was multiplat. That's what they said. They told me it wasn't PlayStation exclusive. But I think there's confusion because it says the PlayStation is set to announce it. So everyone just works under the assumption that PlayStation is announcing something that would be exclusive, which they don't always do. Pragmata is exclusive, for example. They've announced plenty of stuff that isn't exclusive. But he goes on to say, I don't know if Xbox is one of the platforms. So far, he knows of possibly PC, Switch, and PlayStation at this point.
It might be timed.
Yeah. Less than 2 weeks before McMahon's radio appearance, Chrono Cross composer Yasunori Mitsuda tweeted a photo of McLin and his daughter preparing to perform music remotely. McLin was the founder of Irish choral group Anuna, of which McMahon used to be a member. The group has previously performed pieces for video games and featured as the voices of Hell in Diablo 3. So there's obviously no announcement yet, just kind of a rumor. And it's interesting, the headline, that it's PlayStation's big remake when it sounds like it's coming to a bunch of consoles. But Chrono Cross. I saw a bunch of people talking about this online. I don't necessarily have connection to Chrono Cross, but Adrian, you seem to have a reaction to it when you heard that was what they were remastering. What are your thoughts kind of on this?
I just thought it was an odd choice that they were doing Cross and not Trigger. I feel like when they were talking about, oh, this is going to be a big one, that was the one, I figured, oh, if we're talking about a Chrono game, that would be the one that you do, because that's and that's no disrespect to Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross is also a great game. But just on the fame of it alone, everybody, even if you've never played it, you've heard of Chrono Trigger before.
Yep.
Just because of how monstrously popular it is. And granted, it's earned its notoriety because it's a masterpiece in most people's opinion. I don't think you'll find very many people that disagree with that classification of it. So that would be the biggest thing. I mean, I'm definitely in. If they do it right, I'm in for a Chrono Cross remake. But that was the biggest thing that stunned me, is that it wasn't Trigger. I guess they're too scared of the backlash if they mess it up. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Okay. Yeah.
I have nothing really to add. I feel like what he's saying is basically if you haven't played it, you've heard of Chrono Trigger. I've heard of Chrono Trigger, never heard of Chrono Cross. So, but I have heard a lot of people talk really positively about Chrono Trigger. So it doesn't make a lot of sense why you wouldn't go and remake that game if that's the game that everybody knows. But
it's a risk. Well, it's Chrono Trigger would have been much bigger of a risk than Chrono Cross, because while Chrono Cross is very good, it's not super huge like Trigger is. That was like, I would say that if you were to remake Chrono Trigger, it'd be along the lines of the Final Fantasy VII remake. Like, if you mess this up, everybody is going to be pissed off.
Okay.
Right. But in the same vein, as you say that it's a huge risk, it's also a huge reward.
Oh, yeah.
If it works out.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the Final Fantasy VII remake that ended up working out so well, it can be lauded and, potentially be really talked about. I feel like this is one of those games, Chrono Cross, that is going to get remade and might kind of get lost in the shuffle.
Really?
It might depend on how deep this remake is. Like, is it going to be a remaster or is it a full-on like remake? Because if it's a full-on remake,
it sounds like ground up the way they're talking about it.
I don't know. I mean, if it's bad, then obviously it's going to get lost in the shuffle. But if it comes out and is good, like, it might turn a lot of people onto the franchise. And so now my question to you, Adrian, because you know more about this than I do. Are they sequels to one another? Like, do they actually build off each other, or are they separate stories?
They are, how should I put this? Chrono Cross is a sequel to Chrono Trigger, but it's not focused around the same cast as Chrono Trigger is. It has characters from Chrono Trigger in it, but it's like how I don't know if you guys played Golden Sun, but Golden Sun 2 has characters from Golden Sun, and you run into characters from Golden Sun 1, but you play as a different party in 2.
Okay.
In a sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, but it would be possible to play Chrono Cross without knowing the story of Chrono Trigger, potentially?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, because my other thought was like, it seems weird to make, from what I understood, it was a sequel. So, and you just confirmed that for me. Like, it seems weird to make a sequel to the game without remaking the original. But if that's the case, if they are kind of like same but separate, then that does make more sense. Like, yeah, and I think they totally get away with that. And maybe that's, like you were saying, Chrono Trigger is too much of a gamble, where with this, it was already kind of like fine to most people. So if they can redeem this franchise, this game that maybe originally came out and wasn't beloved, okay, let's turn that around. Let's make this something that everyone loved and will enjoy now. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. Obviously, that's their goal.
Could you quickly possibly explain what Chrono Cross looks like? I mean, I know what Chrono Trigger looks like. Is it set up as a similar style game?
So Chrono Trigger was Super Nintendo, so it was more sprite based. It was I'm trying to think of something that I can liken it to for you.
It's a shooter, right? So it's similar to like
no. It's an RPG. It's an RPG.
Okay.
But it has active combat instead of turn based.
So it's like a Final Fantasy, but not.
Right, in a sense.
Yeah.
Chrono Cross is more like how the PS1 Final Fantasies are, where it's definitely slower than the first one. Your models are 3D, the world is 3D. It's that big step up from the first one.
Yeah.
but like an RPG style, like again Final Fantasy.
Right.
But
Right.
so it's not. Is Chrono Cross made by Square or is it?
Mhm.
Is it okay? So it's the same company. That's interesting.
Yeah,
but it's
they're both
not.
SquareSoft.
Okay.
Not Square Enix, SquareSoft.
Right. Okay. Huh. Has there been any more Chrono games since PS1?
No, there's only ever been these two.
Interesting. So Trigger and then Chrono Cross.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Huh. Cool. Wow. I mean, if it comes out, if it is in the vein of like a Final Fantasy VII remake-esque, where they amp it up like they did with that game, I'm down. I love Final Fantasy VII remake. So if they can really like knock this out of the park and
Yeah. I think if
Beef it
Cross
up.
comes out and does well, then I think they're probably going to go for it. I think they're going to do Trigger.
okay, so they're kind of testing the waters a little bit. Like, hey,
Yeah.
here's one that's a little less beloved that hopefully we get less hate about, and if you like it, then we'll do the big boy.
Right.
That's gutsy either way, but
Yeah, for sure.
it'll be neat to see. Of course, at this point it's still all speculation, but according to the article too, there should be like the announcement should be happening this year, and this next month is December.
In the next 3 weeks.
I mean, what the Game Awards is in 9 days. Right?
Oh
10
yeah,
days.
that's true.
It's on December 9th, so more than 9 days. That's 10, 11 days. But maybe we hear something about it there. That'd be crazy. That I feel like that'd be the most likely place to hear about it. It'd be crazy.
Is
for them to
that
just put
the
out a
big
blog
bombshell
post.
you think though? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think it's a big bombshell, but I don't think it's something they just put on PlayStation blog either. Like that'd be kind of sad. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
this PlayStation Classic, is coming out. It's a short little blog post. That'd be kind of lame. We'll have to wait and see though. December 9th. We should talk about maybe even doing something like a live stream or something. Live react to the Game Awards. I don't know if you guys would be up for that. Well, we can talk about
Isn't
that.
that a
off air,
weekend?
but The 9th is usually it's in the middle of the week, like a Wednesday, Thursday. Let me look. The
Oh,
9th
boy.
is a Thursday. Yep, Thursday night.
What time?
But I'll look it up for you right here.
Do it live, baby.
Vamp for me.
It's not like either you or I have jobs to be at right now, Garrett.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm pretty sure that we can do it. It's just a matter of working around poor Adrian's schedule.
I'll just
I mean,
hop in
it's-
whenever I get home.
It's a live event, so it's not like we can work around anyone's
The
schedule.
Game Awards is on forever,
Well,
by the way.
if
Yeah,
they-
it's
they
like
were-
3 or 4 hours usually.
Right.
Just so it's December
Well.
9th, Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, so I won't miss too much.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. Twitch.tv/the Super Gamer Boys. We'll see you doing the Game Awards. I always love watching them. My wife absolutely hates them. Like every year,
What?
every year I tell her, I'm like, the Game Awards are coming up, so at like 5 o'clock, I'm out. Like I'm
I'm
done.
out. I do not exist.
I'm watching, and she gets so.
I have
it's-
no family from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
So the last couple years I've gone to, when I was living in Modesto, we had the studio, which was down the street for me, like 3-4 minutes. So I would literally drive to the studio and either live stream it or just watch it by myself there. Because if I just sat at home and laid on the couch and watched it like on my phone, she'd get so ticked off. She's like, just help me. Like you're here. Like I need help. Like you see how crazy the kids are being. Like,
Can't
she's
do
just
it.
she's giving me these looks. I'm just like, it's for work. It's
I'm on
for work.
vacation. I can't.
For work.
This
It's for
is
work.
PTO.
No, I'm very thankful for my wife because our kids are very hyper. They're at a point where they're very insane. So
Did you see him look
should
over his
probably-
shoulder a second ago? That was
Yeah,
awesome.
you noticed-
She was
I
peeking around the
I
she was
love-
peeking around the blanket. She was peeking around the blanket over there. I should probably let her know. I totally forgot that the Game Awards are coming up, so I should probably be like, "Hey, next
Hey,
week."
can you do me a favor?
sorry.
Can you stream that? You asking her?
Hey,
for
honey.
permission and whatnot,
Hey,
Hey,
next Thursday, I'm gone. You won't see me. Sorry.
right?
Oh,
Next
man.
Thursday, you tell Miss Gladys I am not helping. I am not. I'm not cooking anything. You understand?
I'm not cooking nothing.
I'm not restocking nothing. I'm not going down and picking up the donations. All right.
Oh my gosh. All right. So yeah, we'll talk about more. We'll flesh that out later on the show. Give
All
you
right.
more official times next week on next week's episode. But this last news story we have here is CD Projekt believes Cyberpunk will be considered a very good game in the long run. It will sell for years, especially as hardware gets more powerful and we improve the game. So,
oh my God, I didn't hear that part.
I love how they blame it not on their. Well, they do say they need to improve the game, but first, hardware just needs to get better. It's the hardware.
We can't realize our vision. Oh no.
Okay, let's get into this one. This is from VGC as well by Chris Scullion. The president of CD Projekt believes that Cyberpunk 2077 will be considered a very good game in the future once its issues are finally resolved. Speaking in an interview with Polish economic newspaper, I'm not going to pronounce that one. Okay, I'll give it a shot. There's lots of Z's and P's. Zexpospolita? I don't know. We'll see. Adam Sinksky argued that the brand awareness generated by the game means it will eventually be seen as a success, despite its rocky launch last December.
Rocky?
So basically he's saying any press is good press, That's what he's trying to get at. Cyberpunk 2077 is the biggest, most ambitious, and definitely the most complicated project in our 27-year history, Kaczynski said. In almost every aspect, we tried to take it a step further, just as we've done with every Witcher game we've released. Releasing a game in a new franchise brings many challenges and risk, especially when the concept is so complex. We brought to life a huge, vibrant, futuristic city called Night City, where the characters' non-linear stories take place. We're proud of many aspects of the game, but as we know, not everything went our way. Nevertheless, the brand awareness of Cyberpunk that we've managed to build is huge. In the game universe, its characters and details have fans all over the world. You mean
the notoriety you acquired with that game?
I don't know what numbers he's looking at that he thinks like there's that many players out there either.
I don't think I've ever seen this much of a spin job.
We believe that in the long run, Cyberpunk 2077 will be perceived as a very good game, and like our other titles, it will sell for years, especially as the hardware gets more powerful over time, and we improve the game. We're working on updates all the time. We're also working on a version for the latest generation of consoles. What a novel idea.
You mean the one you've been working on since early last year? That one?
Of course, the original release taught us a lot. It gave us a kick and motivated us to make changes that will make us better in the future. Kaczynski also reiterated that the game would be receiving no more updates in 2021 and that the next-gen version will be released in the first quarter of 2022 alongside a large version 1.5 patch. They've made that promise before and, well, whiffed that one. Oh, man. He goes on and on, but that's...
I was going to say, you can stop. I'm over it.
I feel like you get the point there.
They keep telling us this lie over and over again and keep trying to repackage it. That game is done.
I wonder how much of that he actually believes.
He probably none. I mean, he more than anybody else would have access to see how over it everybody is with this. It's done. It's done. Hang it up. Look, take the L on this one and just go on to the next project, man. That's the most. You're not gonna. You know what? As much as I hope that they would, they're not gonna come in and they're not gonna No Man's Sky this. It's just not happening.
They seem to think they will. I just so happen to read they have related articles, and this is the first I've seen this. It says CD Projekt Red has committed a quarter of its dev staff to a Cyberpunk's first expansion. This came out back in September.
Expansion?
Somehow we missed this news back in September, but they're coming out with a first expansion, and they've put nearly a quarter of their development staff towards a new DLC.
How are you doing an expansion and the core game's not even done? What are you expanding on?
Oh, wow. Man.
Well, the word ambitious was thrown out there. And yeah, that's
a quarter of the staff. Sorry, JJ. That's a quarter of the staff. A quarter that could be working on the game.
160 people, it says, working on their first expansion pass.
Are you out of your mind? How long have we been waiting on this Series X and PS5 patch that'll at least make it run and not like 720p? What is going on? What is going on over there? That part of the whiteboard shouldn't even be written on with the word expansion right now. No. Finish the core game. What are you doing? Oh my God. That is so frustrating.
I love every like 3-4 months bringing up CD Projekt news, like Cyberpunk news, just to get Adrian riled
just
up.
To fire Adrian up.
It's good for your heart, Adrian. It's good.
It makes me so upset.
Don't you feel alive right now? Don't you just feel so alive after that?
I feel like I want to get a ticket to where are they at? Poland?
You got the blood flowing. So having
I
not
need to
played
ask
the game
some
like
questions.
you guys,
Sorry.
Is there enough of the story in the game? Is there enough of a story in there that it's worth picking up if it was $10 or what? I mean, is it like, hey, there's a good story, or is it like, no, it's really not fleshed out and it's not much to chew? Because we always hear that it's not finished and that it's crap and that it's not ready for the consoles and everything else. But I never hear anything talked about the story. It's always about the ambitious idea of this just remarkably huge open world and all these different tributaries you can take and stuff like that. But the story is never talked about.
I think from mostly what I've heard, because I haven't finished it, I picked up this actually a few weeks ago because a ton of updates have come out since last year. And I finally was like, I'm going to give it a shot again. I played a little bit of it, did enjoy myself a little bit, not enough to continue on. Obviously, other games distracted me. So what I've heard from other people is that the story is fine. It's not bad, but it's not like fantastic either. It's kind of like,
it's not the premise that they were talking about when they first pitched it. I could tell you that.
It's like, okay, this is a game and it's a fine story. And unfortunately, what I've heard too is that it's not quite as expansive as they'd make you think. Like if it's for an open world game, from what it sounds like, it pretty much ends almost the same way. Again, that's just what I've heard. I haven't played it myself to experiment with that, but I've heard quite a few people be like, oh no, you do a lot of things and it pretty much ends the same way no matter what. Like there's a small minor details that might change, but it's not like a, I don't know, like even like a Skyrim or Fallout, or like a Fallout 3, I think at the end, like, oh, do you nuke this or not? Do you save this? Like those are some big decisions you got to make. And that was a 360 game. This is freaking PS.
They were making this seem like each route was going to be a completely different experience from the other ones. And it is not. No. It's the same game. It's just people maybe say a sentence differently. And you may not get to talk to one character in one route, but you get to talk to this character. That's probably the extent of it. And maybe the intro to how you get to Night City is different, but you end up in the exact same place in Night City every time, no matter what route you choose. Yeah. So it's just wasted potential, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Maybe in this expansion that they put out, they'll add another path, a fourth path.
They better expand that team so that they can work on the game. That's what they need to do. That's the expansion they need to be working on.
Oh, man. All right. So that's it for the news I have this week for you guys. Now it is time for Super Indie Boys with Adrian Holmes.
All right. Good. Let's turn a 180. Ooh. Let's talk about something great. So, Garrett, I got to thank you for the hookup. The good folks at Pop Agenda recently gave us a code for the new release of A Short Hike. Now, I've talked about A Short Hike before. I have said how wonderful that this game is. It is a beautiful. It is literally where's its name. Its name is its premise. It is a short hike. You play as a young bird character. I'm not going to give any details away because I want people to experience it on their own. But you play as a young bird character who is on a family trip to just kind of like reconnect and how should I say? I'm trying to be vague here. It's tough. You're trying to discover yourself and rekindle your bonds with your family. And the way that you do that is you're making a voyage or a trek up a mountain that your mom and your aunt have made before. Just to kind of, it's a journey to bring you guys closer together. But you meet a whole cast of characters along the way. You make a lot of friends. You do a lot of, silly side quests. And the world is so well done. It's so gorgeous, and it's like a mishmash of 3D and pixel art. And yeah, the dialogue is really well written. It's really I guess cheeky would be the best word. It's got a playful sense of humor, and even when you're not talking to somebody, it just feels like a story's being told to you, just because of the variations in the environment and the soundtrack, the way that the music is playing when you're exploring. So the game originally dropped on Switch as far as consoles are concerned, and it already looked phenomenal there. But they just recently released the game on PS5 and Series X, and now it has the ability to run at full 4K. And let me tell you, I thought the game looked great before. It's insane how good it looks now. Runs smooth as butter. I mean, every screenshot that you take, and there's very few games like this, every screenshot that you take could be like your screensaver, or you can frame it, or you can hang it up as an art piece. That's how good it looks, especially when you put it all the way up to full 4K. It's insane. I usually tell people that a short hike is like, it's the game form of a warm blanket on a rainy day. If you ever wanted a game, like if you're like, I want to play something before bed, I just want to relax, I just want to, wind down, this is the perfect game to play that. And I cannot recommend it enough. The dev team did a phenomenal job. They deserve all the success that's coming to them. I hope to see many more projects from them. Yeah, that is Super Indie Boys today. Again, shout out to Papa Agenda for the code. I definitely would have bought it either way, but I appreciate them hooking us up. So,
dang, that's awesome. So it was originally on Switch, you said, right?
Yeah, it still is.
Okay.
But yeah, it's on everything now, so you really don't have an excuse. It's worth every penny.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely. That sounds like a fun, game. I sit in bed on my Switch, with my headphones in, just play a little bit before bed. I did that with Tome couple months back as well when that came out on Switch. I fired that up, and that was like a fun one. Just like
Tome is another great one.
I'm not ready to go to bed, but I just want to chill and just vibe out to some sweet music and just kind of nature sounds and oceans or wherever location you're in, and take some pictures. And so this sounds like another fun one like that. So
yeah,
cool.
Games are cool, man.
Games are cool. All right. Well, thanks, Adrian, for sharing that. Go check out A Short Hike. It's available. Yeah, I just looked it up real quick. PlayStation 4, PC, Xbox, Switch, pretty much everyone. Mac, Linux. I don't know if anyone has Linux.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Go play it.
Go play it. All right. Thank you so much for that, Super Indie Boys. And now it is time for our ad. Alrighty, now is the time of the show where I talk about our Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us for just $1 a month. We have a $1 tier, $5, $10, $15 tiers. Each of those tiers get you episodes early and ad-free no matter what. Just like our book club, you'll get the newest episode, one coming out this Friday, 2 months before everyone else. $5 tier, you get the show notes. You'll know exactly what we're going to be talking about in each and every episode of our main podcast. Usually Sunday you'll get that. And heck, leave your comments, thoughts, concerns on news stories, on questions, whatever you want on there, and might get it read on the show. $10, you're a sponsor where you get shout outs on the show, just like Julie Bates and Mama Mare. And then obviously top dog tier, Patreon producer tier, where you can pitch us segments of the show, just like Adrian did before with the Indie Boys, where quote Joma, he pitched us on Tall Tales of JJ. Toby, we're still waiting on the big one from him. I feel like he's putting a lot of
plotting. He's had a lot of time, man.
I feel like when he finally does come up with something, though, it's going to be killer. So
he's going to make us everybody go take a photo and then post it in the Discord of what you've been, something you did this week.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully, if you're interested, you would so kindly go check that out. Patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys. We'd very much appreciate the support over there. We have the goal. We can get $100 a month. We will come out with a third show, Super Later Boys, where it's just us three chilling, hanging out, talking about life, swapping stories. Maybe we have a topic of the show. It'll be a fun one. So get us to that goal so we can come out with that new show for you. Also, twitch.tv/the Super Gamer Boys. If you're watching here live on Monday night, or even if you're not, go over there, take a look at our Twitch channel, follow our channel, it's free, and subscribe to our channel. It's $5, or if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, where you get a free subscription every month, so it's free. Follow for free, sub for free with Amazon Prime. We get the $5, cost you $0. You get sweet emotes. We have some new ones in there now where we have an animated hype emote with Adrian. It's fantastic. I love it. A flippity flop that actually flips and flops, as well as our faces, both in our sprite forms and, JJ's ghost form, my pain form. So yeah, get over to twitch.tv/the Super Gamer Boys. Get those emotes, subscribe, help our channel out. We'd very much appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up here. Last segment of the show. What you playing? I'm just going to be up front right now. I've only been playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. That's the same thing I played last week, so I don't really have much more to add other than I'm loving it. But, JJ, what have you been playing?
I don't have a whole lot more to say, but I finished Limbo.
Oh, what'd you think?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
What a great game! Some of the levels on Limbo are super difficult.
Yep.
They just really are. I'm like, man, you have to figure out. It's very similar to games that will not be mentioned. In so far as you need to figure out some things to do to get to the next level. And some of Limbo's stuff had me pretty stumped for a while. And it took quite a bit of me getting frustrated and rage quitting and and then coming back to it later and eventually ended up finally beating it. And man, it felt good to finally win,
That's
in
awesome.
fact, I posted it in Discord, and I think I put it in the wrong section, and I said, I said, in your face, Garrett. And then Garrett's like, yeah, you dummy, you put it the wrong way. I'm like, damn it.
We have a
You're on the board. You're on the board. That's all that matters.
We have a dedicated channel in Discord for submitting backlog challenge, because we're doing a backlog challenge for 2021. Whoever has the most games completed will win dinner on Super Gamer Boys. And I was in dead last for a while. Then I surpassed everyone, and I'm currently first now just by one. Zech has the biggest competitive bone. I think.
Can you believe we're all?
I think it's somewhere in his arm. I think it's the biggest bone because he's a little small guy. So I think it has to be in his leg or his arm. I don't know. But it's very big and very competitive.
You brought up how little he is and talked about that's his biggest bone. He is gonna kill you.
Hey, he's
what are you doing?
Hey, Half-Life Alex.
Hey, it's just a little trash talk, a little competitive trash talk. That's all.
You think you can beat me?
I surpassed all of you guys by like a long shot, and then he's making a comeback now. It has me a little bit scared. He's like one game behind me. If he does one more, we're tied.
Can you believe you guys are all killing yourselves over a dinner? Everybody is trying to burn through these multi-hour games, devoting all their games just to get a dinner. It's not that serious, y'all. It was supposed to be an incentive for us to play games, and now everybody's trying to put each other in the ground. I'm beating 4 games a day. I'm beating 8 games a day. Relax. Everybody relax. Zech, relax. It's okay.
No way, man. I'm gonna win this thing. I'm taking that dinner home.
I have nothing to do with like that backlog challenge because I can't compete with any of you guys. But you know what? I've actually finished more games this year than I ever have before.
And that was the goal.
Yeah. And that is an amazing goal because there's a lot of those games that I'm like, I never finished that game. I'm going to go back and do it. For all the trash talk that we've given Garrett about not finishing games, Garrett really has stepped it up this year. And he got fired because of it. So
No, it's not the reason I got fired.
no, but it sounded great. Didn't it sound great? For just a second, like I hoped that seed of doubt was in some of your minds.
Oh my God.
Oh man, yeah, that would be horrible. But no, that's not why I got fired. Yeah, no, it has been fun. Like I have beat a lot of games, and it's been really cool. You know, imagine that getting to the end of the game is really fulfilling and really fun to actually see a story through. One quick thing I did want to say about JJ's What You Playing. He talked about how much he loves Limbo because it's so much like the other games, Little Nightmare series there. So has this become the new Uncharted? I remember when you first jumped on the video game series, you're like, I won't play a game unless it's like Uncharted. Like you're such a and now I feel like
I do remember that.
I feel so like you basically loved all the Uncharted games and you loved The Last of Us. Now for 2021, your new mantra is I won't play a game unless it's like Little Nightmares. Like I feel like that's your new thing.
You've expanded your horizons, my boy. I appreciate it.
The great thing is I had seen the commercials for part 2 for a while, and then I saw part 1 was like $4.99, and that's what made me jump into it. I'd never played an indie game before. And I loved it. And then like I came back and talked about it on the show. And then Adrian was like, yeah, last week, Super Indie Boys, I was talking about it. I was like, holy crap. And I was like, I did not listen. I did not. I vegged out while he was talking. I'm like, yeah, it's because of you, bro. No, it's not. I literally vegged out and like smiled the whole time while you talked and went to another place in my mind.
I don't care how you get there as long as you get there. You understand?
Yeah, and so the reason that I chose those types of games now is because I'm so used to, I like those big, epic, sweeping, 80, 90, 100-hour Red Dead Redemption type games. And this gives me an opportunity to get in, play a little bit, and get out. And like, that's what my time actually permits for these, 4 and 6 hour games. It's just much easier for me to digest with my schedule being what it is. Even without a job, I still am busy and have life and family. And right now, redoing everything in my house and lots of construction work going on every day. And so it's just neat to be able to get in and go, you know what? I worked for like 6 hours putting sheetrock up today, and now I can chill out for like 2 hours playing video games. And and then not be like, man, I got to stay up until 2 a.m. No, it's like, no, you know what? I'm good. I can go to bed and I can hit it again tomorrow.
And you'll be done tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I won't. It's me, Adrian. Let's remember it's me.
No.
But I'm just saying on an average, you'll be done. And
Right.
you have the benefit of the story's probably going to hit as hard as that big sweeping, super duper narrative.
Absolutely.
So there's a place for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, Adrian. Sorry we took so long to get to you. What have you been playing?
You've been playing Brilliant Diamond. I've been playing Original Diamond and Pearl.
Okay.
That's right. I'm still making my way through. Still loving it, just like I did the first time. Yeah. I was asking you before the show how you were having how you were going along with the new Diamond and Pearl, since I don't think you said you've ever played the originals.
Yeah.
And you're having a blast with it. And
Absolutely.
I don't know if you got the memo, but the internet says you're not allowed to do that. So
Yeah, apparently not.
You better start hating this game sooner than later, sir.
I know. It's so crazy to me, the hate that it's getting. Like, and everyone's argument is like, it's just the same. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. It's a remake. It's not like duh or a remake.
They said it was faithful in the trailer. It's a faithful remake. Do you know what that means? Faithful remake.
What else
that
do you want from
it? Looked like this, so we're gonna clean it up so that it looks like this, but clean. That's it.
Exactly. And it's not even so. It wasn't Game Freak who did the remake either. They outsourced it to another studio. So
right.
It honestly makes sense. Like, this other studio is like, we don't want to make any mistakes, so we're just going to stick as close to the original, so we don't like...
Just copy the homework and you'll be fine.
Yeah, because if it was Game Freak doing it, I'm sure they'd add like, oh, here's a little spice, here's a little thing,
Yeah.
Because it's their baby. But like for this other studio, they're like, no one screw this up. Like,
don't touch nothing.
Don't touch anything. Right. And you know what? I'm happy about it because I never got to play the originals, and I feel like I'm able to play this and be like, oh, I'm getting a taste of the original. Like this, it's not, I feel like someone can't say to me now, oh, it's not the same. You've never played the original. You got to play it on DS. Like, I could be like, I played it on Switch. It's exactly the same. Like, because there's always those weird purists. Like, even with Final Fantasy
they're
7,
all over the internet right now.
Like Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7. Like, I've never played the original. I played the remake, and people are like, but you've never really played Final Fantasy. I'm like, the remake was pretty dang amazing. Like, who cares?
Look,
like,
listen, I was there. I was ground zero when the original Final Fantasy 7 came out. Mm-hmm. If somebody asked me about Final Fantasy 7 now, I would probably just tell them to play the remake. I would not tell them to play the original. That's how good the remake is.
It's a dang good game. I really enjoyed it.
And it's probably I'm eventually gonna get to the new remakes of Gen 4 at some point, hopefully within the next month or so. If I get off my butt and stop trying to complete a Pokedex when I could just do it later on in the new game. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the same thing. Oh, I never got to play Diamond and Pearl. Well, you know what? Just play these. I can tell you. I know. I was there. I love the original ones. If you want to get the feel of how that was and you don't want to pay $80 a cart for Diamond and Pearl, get that game.
Yeah. I am really curious to hear your thoughts because, like, I trust your opinion on a lot of things, on a lot of games. Like, I respect your opinion on games, especially of this ilk. And the fact that you've played the originals, it's like, okay, I can't wait for you to play the new ones and tell me, like, oh, no, these are trash, or maybe you'll be like, no, they are really, really faithful remakes. So
I highly doubt that the most of the majority of comments online are just people who are looking for something to hate the game. Now look, I've seen the videos of the oversights and the glitches. Yeah, it's a thing. They happen. People didn't expect for the team didn't account for diagonal movement in the gym, so you can skip a majority of the gym. They're gonna fix it. They're gonna patch it. It'll get fixed. Okay, but overall, from what I'm seeing, that from people who also were there, is like, you know what? It's not half bad. It's actually a really good remake, and those are the people that I care about. And you know what else that a lot of people forget, and that I have to remember when I see people like ragging on the game real tough, outside of fair criticism, is that those people are like this in comparison to the absolute ocean of people who are not on Twitter and people who are like, oh man, I remember playing Diamond and Pearl back in the day. Let me go and pick that up. And they get it and they're like, this is rad.
Yeah.
You have to remember that they are a drop in that ocean.
Oh, totally.
Honestly, they do not reflect the overall quality of that game.
Yeah, it's a good game. I'm really enjoying it. And but yeah, so you've been playing the originals. Is there anything else you've been playing, or just pushing through some Pokemon Diamond?
Just been really pushing that right now. I just bought a ton of new games for Black Friday because a ton of stuff went on sale.
Nice.
So definitely expect more stuff in Indie Boys in the near future, because I got a like when I say a lot, I mean like a lot. Like a lot of stuff went on sale. Oh, and PSA, I just want to throw this out there. Developers or publishers or whoever is putting these games on the eShop, if your game is normally $20, $16 is not a sale. All right? If it was $19.99 and for Black Friday it's $15.99, that's not a sale. Don't do that. Just keep it regular.
But not a sale.
It's not a sale. It's a discount. Stop.
But don't call it a Black Friday sale.
Don't call it a sale. I'd rather you just keep it at the normal price. Don't insult me and call it a Black Friday sale. All right?
It's so
Either you're
true.
going to put it on sale or you're not. Don't do this halfway, $2, $3 off stuff. Cut it out.
Slash it. Slash that price.
If it's not 50% off or more, I don't want it.
If it's not 40 or more, it's not a sale. Cut it out.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, man. Well, that's fun. I'm glad that video games exist. I like video games. Aren't they cool?
Yes, they're amazing.
They are.
I don't think I would be the person I am without them.
Yeah.
Same.
We wouldn't have a podcast without them because our podcast is actually.
We never met without them.
So.
I probably wouldn't be alive without them because you know what? We all know I am part video game. So
I have ones and zeros in my blood.
I am a robot. I've been told that a lot of times. Like, hey, oh man, that one host, he's a real robot. Or did they call me a bot? Maybe that was just your son called me a bot.
He might have called you a bot.
Okay.
Makes sense.
That's your son. Okay. But thank you guys all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Remember, if you really did enjoy it, you want to help us get bigger and better, get episodes early and ad-free, help us get to that goal so we come out with a new show for y'all. Patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys, where you can support us over there, starting at just $1 a month, or there's higher tiers. You know, if you want to support us for $15 a month, I'm not going to complain.
None of us will.
None of us, not at all. You can also go ahead and head over to sgbstore.com, where you can support us by buying merch. Actually, I think I need to check my tracking, but a couple weeks ago, live on stream, I ordered merch to replace my mug. I got some socks, Super Gamer Boy socks, and a crew neck sweater. So that should be coming soon. I'm excited to get that just in time for the quote unquote cold winter months here in San Diego. It's been like in the 80s, dude. It's been in the 80s. I'm like, what is this?
Where's the rain at? It's almost December. Where's the rain at? Well, you're not going to get any. You're in SoCal.
Yeah,
but up here, it should be raining every day at this point in the year.
Yeah, right. I know. I keep waiting for yeah, you're right. Not rain, but in the past when I've come and visited my in-laws, like before we moved down here, it would be like
overcast at least.
Overcast, and it would be chillier. Like it'd be in the 70s, maybe 60s even. Like it'd be chilly.
I haven't had to put on a heavy coat all year.
I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt the other day at SeaWorld. Like, it was so freaking hot. It's insane. I wish I would have brought my swim trunks so I could go in the splash zone with my kids. Like, you know, it's crazy. Go over to sgbstore.com. They'll get some sweet winter merch for all you colder states. You can get some sweet crew necks over there with our logo on there. Rate and review us where you can. If you're watching here on Twitch, follow us, please. Turn on those notifications when you know when we go live. On YouTube, please give us the follow. Subscribe to our channel there. Ring that bell so you know when our new episodes go up, or any video for that matter. We put up more than just podcast. Sometimes we put up live streams. Sometimes we do fun little side projects. So just check it out. You never know when stuff might go up over there. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I'm over at Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
You can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
And JJ, where can they hypothetically find you at?
You could hypothetically find me sitting my fat butt on the couch and not responding to Facebook.
That's not hypothetical,
dude. No, okay. No, you can usually find me online over at Twitter and Instagram at JJ Purdom, and I do check it every once in a while.
That's it. That's all I got for the show this week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for Adrian Homeboy Holmes, for Garrett, I don't have anything. Morlang.
Jeez.
And for myself, JJ Purdom. We are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Oh, I should have said the dick. No. I was going to say, like, Garrett. Yeah.
No, it's worse if he doesn't have anything. It's just, that's the biggest insult. It's like he couldn't even think of anything for you.